Senna, Seraphine.
It's just right.
You just get hit by a sleepy trouble bubble?
It's just like that. But we are on to the rip for our third game of the day, the middle game in the NLC sandwich with 2 pieces of red on each side.
I wish the camera was on you while you were doing that, because it was
Hotcha.
great what you do with your hands right there.
I got in trouble by Jamada on NLC Division 2 because I made the sandwich analogy and he just like stared at me through the camera. But something that should be noted, we talk about the Seraphine Senna bot lane, which didn't super excite me. Riddle have done so much work to deny everything that X7 built last week.
Agreed. I think from the 2 games that we watched from X7, there were 3 identical factors, and that was 3 same champions. Viego for MC, it was Tempt's Azir, and it was Attila's Senna. Now, our question, because also the patch changed, right, between week 1 and week 2, when we saw 2 different X7s, patch 12.9, X7 went 0-2, patch 12.10, X7 going 2-0, but it's on the same 3 champions. The question will be, was it comfort? Or was it the patch and the team cohesion coming together? And is this X7 lineup actually gelling together very well, warming up to the new members? Or was it just pure comfort from the champions they're playing? Really nice late invade right here also by Riddle, if they can actually get away with that red buff. As you can see, mid laners are moving as well. We might have a level 1 Fiesta.
MC, the red buff is much more in target for Stefan, who's going to be able to secure the buff. MC going in though, Tempt is here but can't find the claw. A lot of damage going down on the 2. There's not going to need to be careful. The Yumi's on top, can he survive? He's burning low. The flash run from Kevo secures first blood, and now Tempt is in trouble. Gets slowed down. It's another as Vladdy secures it. Kasing will be able to float back and looks towards Nash, but has to dive away. Perfect start from Riddle.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Level 1 from Riddle. Stefan, spot on with his smite button right there. Gets that level 2, gets the extra mobility onto the Graves. He has the Q as well. Vladdy moving in first from Tempt, poking him on his way to that red buff fight. And now Stefan pulling in that level 2 gank. Remember, Tempt does not have flash.
He's just trying to walk away, but Stefan's just going to be able to slow him down with that red buff, reloading the shotgun. It's going to be another over to Vladdy.
That is absolutely huge. I think this is, if you're going to have a great start versus X7, that is probably going to be the best start that you get right here. Stefan, spot on with his smite on the red buff, takes that level 2, huge mobility for the Graves, being able to dash in and out, takes 2 exhausts on him, 1 from Yumi and 1 from Ezreal as well, survives through both, cashes in on 1 kill, Ari cashing in on 2 more, and this game, early at least, is looking to be slipping away from X7's hands. And again, we're going back to the question, has it been comfort that took that X7 lineup on the 2nd week to a 2-0? Or has it been the team coming together? And I think a lot of this question will be answered later on in the game when they're going to have to come back from this situation, because a lot of summoners have been burnt. And X7 are not looking great.
Absolutely, this is the thing. It's interesting to see them at a deficit very early on, a very bad deficit across the map. And now the Ari, Vladdy, super far ahead, needs to be the one producing in this game up against Tempt, a well-lauded mid laner on the Swain. He's also been listening to Orcs, and now MC moving in towards Ari. Vladdy needs to be careful. No flash available on the Ari. It should also be noted as MC moving forward, but Stefan is there. It will be a 2v2 as Vladdy actually managing to get away. Can Tempt find anything? No, but MC is now going to look towards Stefan, but the health bars are not looking so healthy. The Eye of Empire, the vision is there as Tempt secures the first kill for X7.
And all the attention is falling into the mid lane. The Ari versus the Swain matchup. Tempt hits back, brings MC into the mid lane. Vladdy lost his flash in one of the earlier exchanges that we saw in this game prior to 4 minutes. And it's pretty much even right now. Honestly, no lost chapter onto Vladdy is pretty huge right there. Had he stayed longer on the map to be able to purchase the lost chapter would have been huge. Having a perma-shoving Ari that can roam together with Stefan's Graves would be huge. Comes back into lane with boots and double amplifying tome. Will be able to shove in the lane, sure, but the mana problems might start coming through earlier. And again, moving to the junglers as well. I think MC has been deprived of a lot of his experience and his CS due to his start being much slower, not having his teammates help him leash, losing his red buff earlier on to Stefan. Stefan is about, what, 3 camps ahead at this point over MC. He's an entire level up, and actually Graves is one of these very, very annoying champions. If you give him a lot of utility and CC, he can actually play the teamfight so well. And right here, you've got Nah, you've got Ari Charms, you've got Seraphine and Senna that can keep you actually super healthy in these team fights. He's got perfect setup to shine. Got his serrated there, which is an absolutely broken item in the early game for how much it costs. Stefan is in a big, great position to carry this game.
He's been put in a great position, and as a player, as we know, very, very good at doing just that. Riddle have looked mixed throughout the split, but he's definitely a strong one. And it should be noted that there's a connection. He's actually going to move into the mid lane towards Temp, get the near side hit. The smoke comes through, the charm comes down, and Vladdy will be able to get a lot of damage on the Temp's back. Secures another kill.
This is just so unfortunate right there. Tempt has to overextend. Look where his wave has been frozen right in front of Vladdy's tower without quite hitting the tower, which means it's been frozen there, which means he has to either try to shove it in really quickly and crush it onto the tower, or actually back off. He was on the in-between trying to crush and not, and he gets instantly punished by Stefan and Vladdy. Again, Vladdy right now, he's gonna back, he's gonna get his lost chapter, and this is where things are gonna start getting very tricky. There we go. Because this Ari is gonna permanently be shoving that mid lane, and the second she goes into Fog of War, MC is going to have to respect that MC is still level 5, not 6, cannot put the paranoia down, cannot hide into this Fog of War. So we're going to have our eyes onto Vladdy, see when he shoves in the wave, goes into Fog, potentially maybe ganking bot, ganking top lane.
I mean, for Stefan, teaching X7 a lesson. He was teaching them lessons last split, but in the back.
Different ones.
As the coach, now he's on the rift against them. 4 assists in the first 7 minutes. Has been absolutely dominant and is seeing what he can do in the bot lane. But this time around, MC manages to get his red buff, but he might be caught out on Krog.
Oh, the tracking is incredible by Stefan right there, and MC is in a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble. Going to be forced to flash away until it's there, but not a pleasant game for the Nocturne.
Stefan's tracking, Yamada was talking about it, his pathing, his tracking, the way he moves around the map is just incredible. Level 6 Ari from Vladdy as well, moving towards the bottom of the map. Attila and Kansig actually have to respect and move a little bit away from the tower. But again, Stefan, knowing that this camp is up and available, knowing that MC is still level 5 and doesn't have his ultimate available, MC has to burn his flash as well and die. Stefan right now has been given the kills, he's been given the resources, and he's walking away with that early game. 2,500 gold lead for Riddle, only 7 minutes in, and this team is ever scaling. You've got Senna Seraphine down the bot lane. Once the damage, once the heals and the shields start running in, this Graves just want to walk over his opponents.
I mean, yeah, the question has to start being as Jack Plank is going to be forced away from the wave by Chasey, who up in the top side has looked down to the rest of the map and gone, oh, I don't know what's going on here. It's Jack Plank just got a gnar against the wall to put down some damage. It's up on cooldown every time you go large, so that's absolutely fine. X7, they're in a pretty deep hole for this point of the game. How do they climb out?
So this is a bit of a question mark. I'm not sure which one of the analysts raised it on the desk. The fact that, yeah, you do pick Nocturne, and Nocturne is a great pick, right? We've talked about this before. I think Finn was talking about it on the first week. It's like, it's just so easy for somebody to run through a side lane and then get picked off by Nocturne, whoever is on the side lane, because you just forget the range of this champion. You forget the ganking ability of this champion, right? Right here, I don't think Riddle necessarily care about splitting the map. You've got a fed Graves, you can use your Seraphine and Senna to like bundle up as 5 and try to pick up team fights, start stacking the dragons. They already have the first one, so Riddle are in a great position. How do X7 actually break this? Maybe use Chasey on the side lane together with Tempt, right? These are 2 champions that sustain so much, they heal so much on the side lane. Maybe try to use them as a nuisance, as a distraction for X7 to sort of split up their 5-man later on and try to get something like this until your Swain comes online, until your Gwen comes online, until your Ezreal comes online, and then Yuumi is just such huge value right here because whichever champion you choose to attach onto if you're Kasing is just huge value.
So you're saying that we need to see Chasey become Kerberos?
Exactly.
Okay.
All cries from last Wednesday.
Either works.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Just be like a cosplay of half each. and X7 will still have an opportunity. But
Kerberos' side lane and Cry's team fight.
okay.
Yeah.
We're building the perfect NLC top lane. That's what we're doing. Which I'm very into.
Talking about building.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of these rosters that have been built over on the social media as this Rift Herald goes down. This one is looking pretty similar to one we saw last time. It's actually Rift Herald is going to be secured, but Jax, Blank, Dan, Tempt, Merbs, Highway.
That one looks pretty good as well by Bifrost Romp.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Jax Blank in this game, actually. Dan again. He seems to be very popular. Tempt again, also very popular. And Tempt is
actually popular in this game as he's going to be the target once again of Riddle's ire, sending multiple members
very popular.
to his lane. Exactly.
He brings all the boys to his yard.
And he's like, please go away. I don't want you here.
His crows bring all the boys to the yard.
And they're like, stop ganking my lane.
I didn't even rhyme. That was terrible.
Well, you know, he's sitting there like, doesn't need to rhyme. I'm sick of seeing Steffan's face.
Just get away.
I thought I got rid of you when you left the team, but it turns out you're back and you've killed me twice, 3 times in fact.
And now it's personal.
And I'm not happy. Goodness me, he's gone for the Imperial Mandate on the Swain. So he's going for that.
Wait. I don't know if this is some dark tech. I'm going to be completely honest right here. I have no idea what a Swain is doing with an Imperial Mandate. I don't know if this is, again, new tech. The patch is brand new. We haven't seen, you know, a lot of leagues playing on this patch, but I don't think I have seen, correct me if I'm wrong, Imperial Mandate Swain. I'd love to know what this is about.
Well, we're going to see it throughout this game, whether it's just a case of him needing to go for something that's slightly quicker spike because he knows that he's not getting too much time to get into the
I'm just
game.
thinking that the thing that I'm thinking about is like, there's no way somebody can assist MC jumping in the back unless there's like a flag from chasing maybe onto the Gwen and then they both sneak around the back, Nocturne with the ultimate, but hitting a very long-range spell with Swain, proccing Imperial Mandate on a champion that's far in the back, and then sending your Nocturne for assassination could be the name of the game. So Tempt right here could potentially be a 6-head.
So turning that Vision of Empire into an engage tool, or at least an engage trigger.
Yeah.
Which could be genius. Of course, Tempt might be on like, nah, that's not where I'm going with it, but...
I'm just playing full support here. Don't know what
he's just like, oh yeah, we just roll swap, don't worry, because things going to grab around, but his Death Gap is Vladdy is happy to take these exchanges because he's so far ahead of Tempt at the moment. Looking for the charm potentially. Just going to be one more auto attack. The smoke comes through, but Stefan not able to do too much.
I think Stefan has something personal right there with Tempt.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on between those two. I'll give it up.
And again, the duo of Stefan and Vladdy, they were the recipient of the kills in the early game on that level 1 invader. Look at that. Stefan is around. Once the charm has landed, he's gone. I wasn't even able to finish my sentence.
I'm just...
He's 1 and 4, Viperun, 1 and 4.
I want to know what Tempt said in all chat before the game.
MVP last split. Oh,
get it, he's dead.
Don't zoom in.
Observers, no. Something was said in all chat beforehand. Tempt was like, you can't gank me. And then Stefan was like...
He just purchased a stopwatch?
That's going to stop one gank. Maybe. Dragon also secured by Riddle.
Talking about ganks.
I know, coming on through, MC looking towards Jax Blank, who's just going to be able to hop, skip, and jump away.
Very, very well done. Uses the flash first to close the distance between himself and the minion wave, and then jumps away to get out of the taunt. But you can't get out of this.
MC called out. Chasey is going to run away. The Rift Herald should be able to get the charge on through. There it is, a lot of gold coming on down. But for me, Riddle, completely different level at the moment.
I mean, we saw it versus Excel, right? They were playing a pretty good game. They were 10,000 gold down versus Excel, but they were close to winning the game, especially with that Kog'Maw Lulu they had. We saw Vladdy onto his Yone as well, reaching into the backline. And this Riddle lineup, honestly, shows so much potential right here. Arguably, this is one of the best teams that we have in the NLC, even if they haven't performed the best so far. X7 are the returning champions of Spring Split. So right here, Riddle, I put it in a clinic. 4-1, Vladdy versus Tempt. 2-0-4 for Stefan versus MC. This Nocturne is just not working at all. And it feels like our question was it just Comfort that was winning X7 games? So far, 40 minutes into the game, I think the answer shows yes.
And now Tempt is going to be in trouble once again, gets that ultimate down. Remember, he does have the stopwatch this time around, which he's going to have to burn. And now needs to fly away, but Vlad is going to move back in towards him. Stefan is still there as well, but MC moving on through. Doesn't have the paranoia available just yet, so can't get into the fray, but will be able to secure safety for Tempt.
Oh, that's it. Your stopwatch is down. You do not have buds. You're susceptible to getting ganked yet again. Now the Riddle bot lane is actually going to try to approach the river.
Can't manage to get anything down as Attila flashes away.
Okay, 3 minutes till next dragon, and everyone is fighting. Everyone almost has used their ultimates. And it's just chaos. I think Riddle are going way too hard right here. But what they've forgotten completely of is that Gwen towards the top side of the map. Chasey, 5 tower platings to his name and first tower of the game on the top side of the map. He's completely been left alone to his own devices, and they hopefully can use that power off the side lane on the Gwen. Take a few more towers, create pressure points on a side lane, make this Gwen be completely unbeatable on the side, take more than 1 members of Riddle towards the top, and maybe secure some dragons with your remaining 4 members for X7 towards the bot side of the map, because Riddle are already stacking them. And if I'm not wrong, this is going to be a Hextech Soul? Yes, I can see the gates. It's going to be Hextech Soul, which means that's going to be very powerful for Graves to just walk in, zap you, slow you, 100% zero you.
And Riddle going to be able to get that push down on the bottom side. It's been interesting to note because X7, while it's looked, they've been hemorrhaging gold and hemorrhaging kills, top and bot lane, pretty hard touch. It's been all around Tempt in the mid side. It's been catching out MC in the jungle. And now it looks like X7 are going to go towards the second Rift Tower, get themselves a tool to break down some objectives. But now Tower's just being secured.
Yeah, and they're exchanging objectives across the board, right? Riddle are gonna take the bot lane tower, and honestly, if you can move the Seraphine Senna bot lane where you know it's completely safe and they're completely unharmed, you do this. Seraphine and Senna are very squishy, they're extremely mobile, and yes, they have very potent and powerful ultimates, but they're gonna initially have to use their summoners to actually get away from potentially a Nocturne plus Yuumi, right? So making sure that they're staying safe and pushing down the bot side of the map, taking this tower, now you can transition it towards the mid lane, and in 1 minute, this dragon is going to come up again. Attila might be in trouble.
The charm, the damage is there. The Senna ultimate burns through, and it's another kill for the Ahri.
Wow, Stefan doesn't even have to use his ultimate. Vladdy is actually popping off this game. He sees Champion, he kills Champion, he has 1 more charge on his ultimate as well.
Dances away from all of that, but it turns out you're not safe even if you're not tempted in the mid lane. You step foot there, Vladdy's gonna get you.
Maybe it's not Tempt's fault, maybe it is the mid lane.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Starting to look more and more like that. Tempt is, of course, back in the mid lane with Kasing, hanging around to give him some moral support, if nothing else. And I'm just very, very concerned for X7 right now. Riddle playing so well. Vladdy looks monstrous. And we were talking about this just before the game as well. You've got Greek solo laners up against Korean solo laners. Currently, the Greeks are winning out.
All right, so top lane I think it's a little bit neutral, but due to Chasey taking that tower, even with assistance, maybe it's a 1-for-1, a 1-on-1.
Potentially.
Like Vladdy beating Tempt and Chasey beating Jaxplank so far. But the thing is, like, for top lane, for Jaxplank, he doesn't necessarily care to beat Gwen in the laning phase. He's more about creating that space for his team later on with his Megana. Talking about Megana, he's TPing in. He has that Megana available for him. Riddle want to walk in for soul point.
He's looking for something, going towards Tempt, but can't find him as it's the flash away. And now it looks like X7 is trying to turn this fight around, jumping on top of the Jaxplank. He's going to be able to get away, but Kevin gets the first fight onto MC, and now Vladdy's moving forward. He's still out, remember, gets towards Tempt and is now looking towards Chasey, who's running back towards that mid lane tower, but Vladdy's going to continue charging forward. The calm doesn't land, so he's not going to be able to secure the kill, but Riddle take the fight.
And that is soul point as well for Riddle, and it's going to be Hextech. Again, it is so difficult for Graves to reach champions such as Ezreal because he's so sleepy and he plays from such a long range. You get that proc from the Hextech soul right there, slowing, doing the zapping damage, and it's GG. And look at this play right here. It's so difficult to play against Seraphine when she has that big ultimate into that choke point. And Jaxplank, again, he doesn't have to beat the Gwen because all he has to do is be the frontline for his team. That's exactly what he does. Survives long enough, soaks up all the damage, and after X7 have dished all the damage onto Jaxplank's Megana, this is where Riddle turn it around with all the heals and the seals and the chasing potential. They take 3 with them, and soul point. X7 need to wake up. These are not the champions from Spring Split. And again, it seems like the synergy is just not coming together. Riddle, though, on the other hand, are looking so strong, especially that mid-jungle duo.
I'm just the Nocturne is looking less and less viable in this game. MC is, when put behind in this matchup, that's kind of bad. And then when you're put super far behind, that's even worse. And when you're in a composition where your support on the dive is either Gwen or Vision of Empire from Swain, maybe if that's the idea, or a Yuumi that, yeah, can be on you, but realistically can be on anyone in your team, so it doesn't hugely benefit you more than anyone else. I don't know how MC contributes to this game anymore.
I think this game is just going to become more and more difficult at this point. I think you need to use your Nocturne together with your Gwen or side lane. Pick onto the Na, maybe push that side lane down, give Chasey a little bit more agency right here, because it's just not working in team fights, right? It's just really difficult. The only problem is you do that, Riddle is just going to speedrun a Baron. They're going to speedrun your towers. They have so much power and so much range with the Seraph and Senna and the Graves that they can take any neutral objective down just like that. And if you engage them, they also have a lot of peeling and kiting potential again with the same champion. So it's just become really, really difficult. 11 kills as well. 10 out of 11 kill participation for Stefan, and it seems like that level 1
going in, trying to get onto Stefan. The Yumi's there as well, but they're not getting the damage down, and now the defensive utility is being used by Riddle. Stefan managed to jump away. They get the first kill of the fight, but they will lose Senna. Stefan's going to be chased down by Chasey, who's looking to get another one, has support the X7 players, but you can see the Hex Gates are being utilized by Tempt for the collapse, but that could be big for X7.
So well done right there. We're asking, how in the world is MC going to use that Nocturne? Chasey has to actually run away, but Vladdy
goes low. Vladdy might have overextended, though. Tempt is there. You can see Kasing will be joining on through, so it's a 3v1. Vladdy misses the charm and just dives away.
Again, MC, really great dive right there, but what do you gain from this? There was no dragon to be taken, there were no objectives to be taken, yet you cash into one very important shutdown, and that's Stefan's shutdown, right? And I think it went towards Attila, if I'm not wrong. You get a lot more mana into that Ezreal, get him closer to his third item as well, but again, I don't know if this will be enough, because you basically gain nothing from that kill. You didn't move your vision line too far into the opponent's jungle. You don't necessarily become much stronger from this. Like, your Swain still has an Imperial mandate. He doesn't have a hard AP mythic on him. Yes, you've got 2 items on your Gwen, but you had 2 items before. Your Nocturne is is building towards a Frozen Heart. He's not necessarily going to do that much more damage. It's going to be more tankiness. And I'm just getting worried right here, because that was a misstep from Stefan. He gets punished. Does he do it again, though? Because in this one, he didn't have flash. In a minute and 20 seconds, he will have his flash up and available, and this will be soul point for them. And don't get tricked by the top left. It shows it's Cloud Soul. This is Hextech Soul we're talking about. It is so important.
And it's going to be hard to catch out Stefan, because he was caught out on his own, essentially. And Riddle are just going to be together, aren't they? They're just going to be... Ah, Tempt. Is Tempt actually playing support this game?
Kinda.
That's a Raleig's second pickup. Of course, it's got the Merc Treads as
well. The saving grace is that you have a Gwen in the top lane that's dishing out a lot of AP damage.
Yes.
So you're going more utility, making sure you create a lot of space around for your Ezreal. But I don't think the Ezreal at this point is strong enough to be able to carry these team fights. Because if you look at the inventory, you've got Solari onto Nash, you've got heal on Nash, you've got his Q and his shields from the ultimate, you've got a stopwatch onto Kevo, you've got a Banshee's Veil onto Vladdy's Ari, almost a death cap. You've got shield coming in from Stefan from the Eclipse, and my screen just went black.
No, you're
okay,
back.
We're back. We're back.
I was good here as X7 are trying to entrench themselves along the river, trying to defend this dragon. Of course, we mentioned it's soul if it's secured by Riddle, but it's a 5v5 that is going to be contested. Now the question being, who wants to go in?
Kevo?
Going backwards. Kevo goes gone. Just want to, you know, show his bling before the fight. As X7 now looking to get a catch down, a little bit of damage down onto Stefan, but the root is going to land on 2, and that could be the trigger that is needing to be pulled. The temp goes so low this way, needs to regen up, diving on forward. MC's there, but a nice damage to the wall. Jack Blunt goes down though. MC follows, and it's a 1-for-1 at the moment. Riddle moving back and forward, have a little bit more sustain. Land on Chase, that's massive, because he's going to have to go gone, but there's no support for him. As the Gwen is cut down, it's a double for Senna, it's a double for Nash. And now X7 still defending. They've got 3 members, 4 members for Riddle. Riddle's health bars are a little bit nicer, but it looks like X7 are not willing to give this all up. But now the root lands onto Ezreal. He's going to fall. Attila goes down. Kasing dives towards 10, but I don't know if that's a route out or a quick route back to base, as it's another kill for Stefan. Kasing cuts down for the ace, the double for Graves, the soul for Riddle. X7 routed.
Riddle walk away with everything that was on the map, and by everything I mean 5 members of X7. They see them, they kill them. There's Dragon on the map, they see it, they kill it. Another great fight, and honestly, that route landing from Nash was the go button for Vladi to jump in, get that taunt down, and yet again Jaxplank is soaking up so much damage. But once MC has fallen, once the smite is down, they know that Riddle can take this Dragon. And again, the taunt and the dust is coming in from Vladi have been spot on. He will get yet another one later on. You see that Tempt and Attila are sticking around because they have the Yuumi, they've got the healing coming in, they've got the poke coming in from Attila as well. But equally for Riddle, they've got Senna and Seraphine, and that route was absolutely nasty landing in from Kevo. And so far, I feel like Riddle are playing like such a strong team all together. It's going to be a 1-for-1. But again, you're trading your jungler for support, and Riddle, what do we say? They walk away with everything they see on the map.
Got Baron on 4 members now, and for Riddle, hey, it's a slower meta, but I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, what are Riddle going to be happy with taking? Because there are 3 inner towers there, which you think usually that'd be enough, but they're so far ahead.
I feel like there's so much to take away from this Riddle lineup, right? Because they went for a passive top lane and a very passive bot lane that is both scaling, right? They got the Nart in the top lane and they've got the Senna Seraphine in the bot lane. I'm going to pause my thought right here because Riddle started the Baron onto this replay. MC dives into the back lane, but Kevo is right there to stop him. He doesn't get any way to get back into the pit, and by the time he does, the Baron is actually dead. And yes, they trade Nash's life, but they also kill MC. Support for jungler and Baron, you will take this. Coming back to it though, they chose such an aggressive mid-jungle duo, and even though you wouldn't expect for Stefan to be that aggressive on the Graves in the early game, I think Vladi's aggression really complemented the way Stefan wanted to play the game, especially after that very strong level 1 that Riddle had, and it just worked for them. Getting a more passive bot and top lane, and then allowing your mid-jungle duo to create constantly plays has put X7 in such a position that whenever they tried, they just kept failing because they were that far behind.
And for Stefan as well, a lot of people were saying going into this split, this guy's super smart about League of Legends. This guy has a brain in his head. Are his hands going to be able to keep up? Yes, is the answer. Strictly speaking, he's playing so well. And I mean, Vladi's been a monster as well. We can't take away from this mid laner, but the whole game was kicked off by Stefan invading, getting those kills, getting things rolling, keeping Tempt so far out of the game, he might as well be playing for Dusty at this point. As Tempt is going to get taken so low, the Yuumi ultimate's been burnt down. The snipe from center won't be enough. Vladi goes forward and will be enough, as this tower is going to be taken low. Vladi's gone into the base, and now they're going to look to rotate towards this mid lane. Remember, they have the Baron buff, so this tower is going to be cut down as well.
Keep your eyes on Kevo because he's keeping the bot lane wave coming as well, and they still have Baron mid lane is going to fall, and Kevo made sure that they have yet another wave towards the bottom of the map because she cleared that one coming really quickly. So they're going to take 2 in 1. Tempt is still dead. They've got 5 members in the base, and Riddle have opened up the map completely for them. They're now 12k, sorry, 11k in the lead is the same at this point, and they're looking to take down former champions.
I really like this from X7 though, because we talked about it last game when a really dominant Dusty squad went into the enemy base with Baron, sat around, almost gave up the opportunity to win the game. This time around, they take it to inhibitors. They're like, cool. We're going to reset, we're going to get our items together, not just our jungler, and then we're going to fight you around the next objective. We've got Elder Dragon up in 2 minutes. We've got a Baron up in 3 minutes. We're confident that we can maybe take both if the game goes long enough.
I mean, at this point, if you look in the inventory as well, it's what? 3.5 items on Stefan, 2 levels up onto MC. MC has to actually flash away, he might still die.
He's going to be able to get this chase down though under tower. Nash is here, and MC survives, but at what cost?
Yeah, he's getting bullied out of his jungle constantly. He loses his flash right here, and I think Riddle are just going to use the man advantage they have on the map. There is TP still on Jaxplank. If you see his rage bar, he's keeping it at a level where he can just TP and instantly transform into Mega Knight as well and be ready to fight. And I mean, Riddle could very easily be ending the game right here. This is why X7 have to back all of their members and have them there ready to fight.
Riddle's going to keep pushing forward. Chasey trying to clear out as much of the wave as he possibly can. And it looks like some damage is going to be thrown down. Temp goes so low, but there's the ultimate coming down from the Yuumi. Teleport coming on through to get Jax back into the fray. He is large right now, ladies and gentlemen, but he's about to go small.
Look at the waves.
It's not looking great for X7 on this defense. They've still got one inhibitor tower, but it's been taken to half health, and it's being chipped away. Stefan inside the enemy base might be a little bit careful, but Vladdy dives forward. The damage comes through. That's the first kill, and that's the Yuumi. That's a big one to catch out as Chasey tries to dance away. The other win condition goes down. It's a double for Stefan. Vladdy jumps forward. Temp goes golden, but I don't think that matters. He's cut down. Riddle take the fight. Riddle take the base, and Riddle take the win.
And you mentioned how many win conditions went down in this fight for X7. I'll raise you my own reverse card right here, Maroon. There were no win conditions left because Riddle made sure to take them down level 1.
I'm just